camera. Thank you.
1001.
We heard some, it was a contentious meeting today.
No, it wasn't very contentious. I think the speaker, though, was blunt about his opinions, but I think we were all in agreement with them.
Thank you. Was there any F-bombs or any?
There may have been one.
Yeah.
But I think the speaker's rightfully irritated. There's no reason why these appropriations bills have been stood up by a few folks. It's holding up the progress of the House, and it undermines our party and our conference. So he's irritated, and I think that's what I heard.
Is there anything
That's my translation. I'm not a linguist.
You being McCarthy supporters, moderates, the ones who want to make sure that the House continues to function and fund the government, are you all going to be doing anything to push back against the Freedom Caucus, who of course has been making demands for several months?
There's some thinking going on, but when we're prepared to talk about it, I will. But yes, the answer is yes, because it's unacceptable what's going on, and you're talking a very small number, and the rest of us just can't sit still and get walked over. So with that, they'll let us put gears in motion.
You'll need Democrat votes, though, then, if that's the case.
Yeah,
and Dems are not happy that you guys are moving forward in the impeachment inquiry, so how does that
Yeah, maybe the impeachment inquiry, but you know what? The Democrats I work with don't want to see a shutdown. And there's some basic thing. You know what the speaker's asking for is a short-term CR with disaster relief.
That's what he asked for in there?
Well, that's what he's always stood for. And by the way, Democrats would support that.
He said he wants the disaster relief to be on the
Well,
DHS bill, not CR.
That was his follow-up plan when he couldn't get other things done. He was trying to find a way to move appropriations bills. But his early position, the way I understand it, was to do a short-term CR with the disaster relief in it, and then maybe some other putting the Ukraine and border stuff together. That was a secondary effort. But the short-term CR is the original plan. The short-term CR with disaster relief, I believe that Democrats would support. And so, but we got to. Okay, what was your question? I guess my point being is that I think there'd be a lot of support for his initial plan.
I guess, though, with the impeachment inquiry, does that make it complicated to get your Democrat friends
Yeah,
on?
it may, but in the end, they're going to support a short-term CR with disaster relief.
How long will this short?
Because you got to separate things in this business.
How long will it go? Did he lay that out in there? How long does he want the CR to go, and what do you feel comfortable?
I know his initial plan was December. I don't know that he's hard over on it, but that's what he briefed us a couple weeks ago.
What about yesterday? I know you talked yesterday on CR.
I was giving a speech, so I was in a separate meeting, so I didn't get to hear all that.
And are you comfortable with the impeachment inquiry?
You know, I recommended against it, but don't interpret that as I don't think there's a problem with the Biden administration. I think there's clear corruption. You know, when his son gets $20 million for the appearance of his dad's influence, it's wrong. The question is, did his dad commit a crime or not? Ultimately, what we got to find out, did President Biden get any of that $20 million? And that's what we got to find out.
If there's a vote, will you support it?
You know, I recommended against it, but that train's moved. And but we do need to find out, did President Biden get any of that $20 million? And I think it's pretty clear that they were selling the appearance of his influence, and that's what he was getting money for. And it's not right. So I think it's corruption. Whether it's a high crime or misdemeanor on his father, I don't know. And here's my reluctance. We've had 4 impeachments in our history. I've been in 2 of them already. We've had to vote on 2. And I'm reluctant that our country goes down this path every 4 years. I don't want us to be this country that is so dysfunctional we're going down this path. But the fact is, the President Biden showed a lack of judgment. I thought it was foolish, being on 20 phone calls with his son making a $20 million, and this money's been spread out with family. Whether that's a high crime or misdemeanor, we'll find out.
So I just want to clarify, at this stage, because your conference is already moving in that direction, do you support it?
I recommended against it. That train has already moved. If it comes up for a vote, we'll see. What's going to happen here is they're going to request information. And if the administration says, no, I will not provide it, then the answer will be yes. The administration should provide the documents that are being requested.
Did they give a timeline of how long this inquiry could last? Could it?
No, I don't. It's really the speaker's been very clear. He's not doing this to get an impeachment. He wants to get information, and I think by and large the American people should know what happened. And I think the impeachment's not forejudged. He wants the citizens to see what happened. Bottom line is, and I'm a little bit critical of some of the media here, frankly, because if this was President Trump, you guys would be pounding on did the president get money or not. And I just
We did do that.
with the President Biden, I don't know. I feel it's more about us pushing impeachment. The fact is, there's $20 million. Did the president get that money? We should know.
You should read CNN's fact check.
Okay, well, okay, good. Well, I just feel like we're playing defense. And and 4 years ago, I felt like the media was so aggressive going after it, and rightfully so. I think that's your job. So.
Congressman, are you optimistic that you can avoid a shutdown still?
If I listen to what's going on, no. But I'm voting to keep the government open. It's a mistake to shut down the government. It hurts the military. It hurts folks all over our country. It's so short-sighted to be pushing for a shutdown. So whatever I can do to stop it, I am.
Congressman, on Ukraine funding, has it been ruled out by House leadership that would be included in any sort of stopgap measure?
For Ukraine?
Yeah.
I don't know where we're at with that as a body. I support helping Ukraine. I'm not necessarily a blank check for whatever the administration wants. They got to defend what they're asking for. I support ATACMS going there. I feel like we're not giving them the weapons Ukraine could use. But I am an advocate to support Ukraine. It's in our national security interest to do it. How this will get done, I do not know. I'm not sure. But I know I'm going to support the overall effort.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Really
Appreciate y'all.
Come back and update us.
I just like the shoes on the other foot. It would be